So, hi. I can see you. Well, I can see because right before the I started the video, I trimmed the bangs. So, presumably, you can see me too. People have complained about not being able to see my eyes. And I realized after doing the video for the look that yeah, my bangs being down to here was not helpful. So I cut. So hello and welcome to Domytriesthis This. I hope you brought your cuppa. My daughter is buying me coffee mugs again. Send help. On second thought, don't send help. They're cute. I know I did buy me one coffee mug, but yes, my daughter has taken to buying me coffee mugs again. And this one is full of kitties. And it says on the inside, I remember correctly, yes. Need coffee, right? Meow. Well, we all know that I am not a coffee girl. I am a tea girl. So in our Need Coffee kitty mug, which I'm going to just call a kitty mug, we have the Vahdam Turmeric Chamomile with the Vahdam Turmeric Spice. I technically didn't pick these. I mean, not in a standard way. I was opening my tea box, and apparently one side of it was already open and it fell and these flew out. So this is what we ended up with. I went, the tea has spoken. It has spoken. Let's give this combo a sip. It did just start steeping. And yeah, so sip so we can get started. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Thank God we aren't doing like every indie under the sun and their brother. Being a month off, could you imagine the backup pile? Okay, still working on it. Very hot, very hot. Getting a bit of the chamomile and the turmeric. Not getting much spice as of yet. So they both have turmeric. This one has it at 55, and this one has it at 38. This one says it's a super blend. This one has ashwagandha, chamomile, fennel, cinnamon, and black pepper. 1% of our revenue is directed towards the education of our farmers' children in India. That's cool. This one has cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, black pepper, lemongrass, bergamot extract. And yes, for both of those, that equals 100%. They give percentages of each. So we'll let that continue to do its thing, and we will get to our thing, which is our little indie thing. The title of the series escapes me. How's that? It's been that long, and I have no memory. I have ADHD and anemia. My brain is Swiss cheese. Anyway, we are going to get into it. We've got 3 announcements. One is more of an announcement. The other 2 are like, hi, things are coming. So we're going to do those 3 things first and then move on. Fantasy Cosmetica has posted on Instagram that they want to let people know about what's going on with the tariffs. So they say, hello, everyone. This has been a very stressful few weeks at Fantasy Cosmetica with the announcement and rapid increases in tariffs from China. We have spent a lot of time considering how this will affect us and you. Please read about it in the slides above. I will do that in a minute. The TLDR, the tariffs will result in 145% or more if Trump increases them again, increase in our production costs. This is a huge amount of money that long term will likely make Fantasy Cosmetica not economically viable as my career. Do you remember when I think I did it, I'm not sure in a previous indies, um, or if I had done it in a notes from home. We haven't had many notes from home, but I did indicate that I was concerned how these tariffs would affect small indie brands. Fantasy Cosmetica is one. Ladybug Glow is another. We have several of those. I'm not sure where Nomad falls on the scale. So, to me, this is no surprise. I am sad that this is a problem they have to deal with, but we can cross our fingers and hope that someone talks some sense into the crazy man in the office and fixes this. Now, the problem with all that is it's not likely to get fixed. Sorry, folks, had to bump you up just a little bit more. Anyway, he doesn't listen to anybody really. And when he does listen to somebody, it's almost always the wrong advice. And it's very short term. He has his favorites for about 5 minutes and then a new favorite comes along. So, at any rate, we will do our absolute best to bring out the 3 remaining launches we have in production. After that, we're uncertain if we will continue to exist as a company. I may finish the Class Palette series out of pure stubbornness, but economically speaking, it won't make sense at 145% tariffs. Hopefully the tariffs are lowered or dropped entirely. We will see. All the best, Jordan. So in the slides, it says, Fantasy Cosmetica's tariff announcement. Hi, everyone. We have all seen the news about the new tariffs by the current U.S. administration. After a lot of consideration and a lot of math, we want to give you a quick update about how these will affect us. We would love to manufacture our palette products in the USA. However, we haven't found any manufacturer who can work with our small order sizes and meet our high quality needs. Chinese manufacturers were our best option. Now we are facing a sudden 145% plus tax on everything we get from them, including the products we started production on months ago. We cannot underestimate how devastating this is to long-term planning for a small business like ours. How will this affect you? All of our current product prices will not change. Fortunately, the products for our next launch arrived just days before the initial tariffs, so you will see no cost increase on our next launch. Coming soon. Yay! But after that, I'm pretty sure that they are looking at just some real issues with keeping up and meeting customer needs. And I suspect that they are not going to be the only one that's going to have this issue with this current administration's thinking that tariffing things makes us great again and puts money in the pockets of, regular consumers. We all know they don't. Well, most of us know they don't. The tariffs are paid by the companies, and the companies pass those costs on to consumers. It is not a tax that the other country pays for us. A tariff is a tax that is supposed to inhibit purchasing of those products. So the Chinese products, basically the administration is saying, I'm tariffing these to death, stop buying them. We're going to see this not only in the makeup industry. I have already heard of other businesses that are outside of the cosmetic industry that are having issues with meeting their materials needs, because a lot of these materials are not done in the US. A lot of the manufacturing isn't done in the US. And people are saying, well, they'll just have to create manufacturing plants. That is easier said than done. It takes years. And all this stuff shipped out decades ago. So anything that was a manufacturing plant is gone. It's gone. And nobody is going to want to invest in a manufacturing plant with the current administration's tendency to flip-flop on everything. So it is unfortunate. Some of our people are going to be hurt by some of the things that we love to buy are going to be discontinued. Some of our companies are going to go down, things like that. And there's not anything anyone can do unless the president stops tariffing. And at this point, he thinks this is the greatest thing next to sliced bread. Don't get it. I'm sure someone has tried to explain it to him repeatedly, but he has persisted in saying that this is something that the originating country pays, not the consumers. And honestly, him and his friends don't have those worries. They can afford that shit. I don't know about you, but I can't. I can't. Moving right along. It's supposed to be political here, Dommy. Anyway, so Nomad hasn't said much other than, can you spot the new one? So yeah, Nomad is releasing another one. This is right after the Fairy Tale Europe palette. I still haven't gotten that. I did get it for one of my daughters for her birthday. However, all they say in here is the game starts in 1 week and it's going to be great. Of course it's going to be great. It's Nomad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford 2 palettes at this point. One of the things that has helped me afford these palettes and things that I buy has been that I get them in pay and fours. And for some reason, for this princess palette, as people are calling it, I get it, Fairy Tale Europe. It really does have that feel to it when you look at the color story. And I do want it, despite the fact that the bottom row is almost entirely neutrals. For some reason, I was able to pay in for with my daughter, in using the Shopify or whatever it is. However, then when I tried to buy the one for me, it said we can't confirm your details, which really puzzled me. I actually think I'm going to go back and try one more time a little later. I may have an idea of what the problem was, but that was odd. So then I tried to go to PayPal, and for some reason, PayPal isn't paying in for. Now, my understanding with PayPal is that the merchant sets the level at which you can start paying in for. So I don't know if Nomad knows that. I did tell them that I was having trouble being able to pay in for. They are not going to be going back to Afterpay. Apparently, Afterpay is one of the most expensive of the pay in fours. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to get the Princess palette. I will likely want to get this palette, but I'm also going to probably continue to be perpetually behind until probably, if they put one out this year, their Christmas palette. Because the Christmas palettes tend to be limited edition. I'll probably pick that up. Anyway, so we have a new game and a new palette coming very soon. I imagine the palette will be coming out somewhere around mid-May. We'll see. And Ladybug Glow has a little announcement for y'all. I'm sorry. I just had to share that. That is too cute. Glow Bless Yourself from Ladybug Glow. So we're going to have some sort of blush thing coming out this week from Ladybug Glow. I can talk, I swear. I think that's adorable. That's adorable. All right, so moving right along to actual releases that are either more revealed or actually out. All righty, so first in that is the Dedesignature Drops of Fantasy eyeshadow palette and pressed pigment palette. Okay, so these aren't just makeup, they are visual art. From the vibrant colors to the raised bubbles and holographic finish, this cover art was made to spark imagination. Every detail was crafted to express creativity, fun, and the bold spirit of color lovers. Are you a color lover, Sarah? She's getting into things as usual. As for inside, expect a kaleidoscope of color, shimmer, and textures designed to let your creativity run wild. Stay tuned. The fantasy is just beginning. The launch date is May 2nd. The eyeshadow reveal will have happened by the time this comes out. 24 discount pre-sale, 24-hour discount pre-sale will be the 25th. Affiliate codes could be stacked on the sale. All right, so they don't give us much but covers. All I have is covers because I'm actually filming this on the day they're supposed to drop. Based on these are, you know what? These are some interesting covers indeed. This is an interesting cover. Eyeshadow palette. I'm wondering if it's one palette. It sounded like there were two. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with it and going ahead and taking a look. Unless it's really, up my alley color wise, I won't purchase it. But as you know, Dedesignature is one of my top 5 and actually one of my top 3. So I'll be watching it like a hawk and trying to figure out how to buy it if I like it. Not bad, you know how it goes. All right. They also say the secret is out, but we're not done yet. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, introducing our forever timeless lip kits. 7 rich, smooth, alluring lip gloss combos made to complement every bold eye look, soft glam moment, and everything in between. From the softest nude to the deepest espresso, these lip duos are about to take your fantasy even further. Launching May 2nd, along with the eyeshadow palette. Sounds like a palette, one palette. This duo is made to turn heads and spark creativity. Get ready for the most colorful, timeless launch yet. Well, one, that description didn't sound colorful. Sounded like a bunch of nudes. The lip kits that they're showing, I'm hoping are just 2 of many because they're nude. And if this is what we're looking forward to is a bunch of browns, not interested. Browns make my lips disappear because my skin is brown. So I don't wear a lot of browns. Now I based this with a brown, but I ended up using other colors over it to bring out a different tone. So it's more orangey than brown. That works, but browns themselves don't work. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Alrighty, so this showed up on my radar before I disappeared. And I think I actually mentioned it before I disappeared. But they have finally, the Glamlight has finally put out their Twilight collection. All right, so the moment you've all been waiting for. Has all launched about 2 weeks ago. The moment I've been waiting for is almost here. The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. So I guess they're going to do more. Times Glamlight, or they're basing that. Was the movie broken up? Twilight's not my thing. The Breaking Dawn bag is $40. They have an Edward and Jacob palettes. They're $35 each. The Cullen lip kit is $22. They have a mirror for $26. The wedding highlighter for $15. A vampire skin spray for $18. Keepsake PR box is only available with the PR box collection, which is $169, a $210 value. More than likely that is sold out by now. Full collection, no PR box, $150, $191 value. So you guys give the PR box a $20 value. Yes, I can see it. Anyway, I'm going to preface this with probably not. Let's start with the first one, which shows the whole collection, the lip kit, and the highlighter. The lip kit and the highlighter were two of the things that I might be interested in. I'm going to say no to both of these. I like the color in the lip kit, but that lipstick looks dry. And I have this kind of coloration on a in a highlighter. I don't need another one. So not interested in those. If I were to get either palette, I think this would be, which one are you? Edward. It would be the Edward. The other one is just way too neutral. We've got two greens and a pink, maybe two pinks, kind of a mauve pink. But the rest of it is silver, browns, and grays. No, not for me. So the Edward palette has more color, which would be something I would be more interested in, except I've seen all these colors in another one of their palettes that I have, or two of them, or fairly close to these colors. I think the only color I don't have is that the purple. Renesmec? You having fun, baby? But the rest of these colors I have somewhere. If not in a Glamlight palette, in another palette. So this ended up being just, not only is the franchise not my thing, but this ended up being boring as fuck. What are you playing with? What do you have? Oh, you have a mouse. She's playing with one of her nieces. And yelling at me because I'm not playing with her niece. All right, moving right along, we have Glaminatrix has remastered the Nearly Natural palette. All right, so it says the countdown is on. I think this is a fairly recent post, so I don't know if this is out. I don't think so, or if it is, it's fairly newly out. We're so ready and excited for you to try our remastered Nearly Natural palette. This one been asking for us to bring it back, and we did, and it's bigger and better. Bigger and better. So this is 20 shades. And some of those shimmers from the top row are beautiful. But I am not going to spend what this is going to cost just for one row of shimmers in a 20 pan palette. And 20 pans, to be fair, I have a 15 that I just used for this look. But a 20 pan is just too overwhelming for me. I know we get to 18 on some of the Nomad palettes, and I get a little lost with those. 20 pans and up, forget it. I just can't. The ADHD won't let me. The ADHD is like, oh, decisions are impossible. And with this particular palette, with all of these browns, granted, some of them are some beautiful rusty browns. There's a beautiful, it looks like a bluey gray. And like I said, that top row of shimmers with the pinks and the purples and lavender and stuff. That's gorgeous. But I would look at this and my brain would go, nope, not using that today. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen, folks. So this is a no for me. This has also been recently released. This is something else we also discussed, and it took them forever to release it. And by the time they released it, I was deep in the throes of dealing with what was going on with my husband. That video should have been gone up before this. It should be a Notes from Home. And I wasn't paying attention to anything makeup wise during that time. So anyway, Wicked Widow Beauty has finally released their American Psycho collection. Now, Wicked Widow Beauty. I can talk, really, because I'm back. I haven't done this for a month anyway. Wicked Widow Beauty has good formulas. I've received 3 of their palettes, I think, and I have been very impressed with the quality of the shadows. That said, again, this is not my franchise. These are not my monkeys. Anyway, and this palette is way basic. I wouldn't know. I have all these colors somewhere. The blush and the blush duo looks kind of nice. But again, I could probably find these colors elsewhere. I do like the lipsticks, but again, there are colors I can find elsewhere. Overall, what else do they have over here? They have a summer oil. Maybe that's a fragrance. I don't know. It looks like a fragrance. It may not. It's a shimmer oil. Sorry, it's a shimmer oil, and that appears to be it. So yeah, this is not something that I would be picking up. Kind of nice to have a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to pick up. And then Lorella Cosmetics now has available their lip oil bundle volume 2. So I added Lorella to my watch list for a couple of reasons. One, their quality isn't that bad. I have 2 of their Tropic palettes, which is no longer available, but I use one upstairs in my art, and I have one down here that I played around with. And I have a couple of other palettes of theirs that I've enjoyed. I've got their Prideful, again, not available. I haven't bought much from them, but their quality is not bad. And 2, their pricing is even better for the quality. So these are an affordable brand at this point. And I thought, since I'm trying to be a bit more judicious in my spending and what I buy, that they would be a good brand for me to keep an eye on. They are not necessarily in my top 5, possibly in my top 10 if you take out a couple of expensive brands that I probably won't be keeping an eye on because expensive brands. And a lot of things, one of the things with an expensive brand is it really has to be worth it. So if it's expensive and not, in the top 5, I'm not sure it's really worth keeping an eye on. Whereas with my top 5, I know that 9 times out of 10, the quality is going to be absolutely spot on. So Lorella, is it expensive makeup? Is it like cosmic brushes quality? No, but it is good quality. They are palettes that I use and not just on paper. And I have not tried any of their lip oils. And they say they have 2 new exclusive flavors in this one. This one has green apple, pineapple, orange, and watermelon. I think I want to try these. I love the packaging. I really do. The colors are kind of interesting. But they're lip oils, so I'm not sure how much they're going to add in terms of color, but I am definitely interested in giving these a shot. These actually look really good. So I love all of those flavors. This one is right up my alley. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this particular episode of our series, which name still escapes me. It's listed down there. Folks, it's been a month. I'm lucky that I remember my name. Honestly, it's been a month. I'm okay, but I could be better. We're working on the being better, getting back into routine, doing the things to be healthier. We're working on all those things, but I'm still a little bit discombobulated because we still have to deal with some of the fallout. We're working on dealing with that fallout. But so memory isn't a thing. Before I sidetracked, as I was saying, that is it. And you'll have to let me know down below if you are going to be purchasing any of those things. If you're interested in any of those, are you interested in any of our mystery, not here, hinted at coming up releases for the summer? You'll have to let me know that too. And in the meantime, we are going to sip our tea and get on out of here and do the things. Go ahead and do all those YouTube things that help us out here. Like, share, subscribe, comment. We appreciate it. If you don't want to tell me what you're interested in, it's fine. Let's give me a purple heart or give me a party hat or something to tell me you're glad I'm back. I would love to see that. But we really need all of those YouTube things to be done, because whenever, I think I mentioned at some point that whenever I am off this app for any length of time, the views go down, and then we really need some help getting us back into the algorithm. So I really appreciate your help. Anyway, let's give this tea a sip and see how these two blended. I like the smell. I'm not a favorite. Now that's just weird. It's probably because I've used two different teas, one spiced and one's chamomile, but it tastes watered down. That is just odd. There are two teas in there. The turmeric could have been really nice and flavorful. I don't have a problem with turmeric. My husband does, but I don't have a problem with turmeric, and it's just not. It's very flat. I don't know. Maybe they're too old. Maybe my teas are getting to the point that that the flavors are starting to fade. Because I would imagine after a while they just, I mean, they've been in sealed packets, but I don't know. Maybe they do start to lose some of their flavor after a while. That's not a combo we will be doing again anytime soon. All right, so that's it. And as we know, I love my girls, I love my dragonettes, and I hope you have a good one.